Here's today's severe thunderstorm outlook presentation. We've got at least 3, probably 4 days of active severe weather in the U.S. Several days are already at enhanced risk. That includes today and Friday. So a lot going on. I'm meteorologist Ted Keller. I'll be storm chasing today and also on Friday. I've got my official I'd Rather Be Storm Chasing t-shirt on, so you know I mean business. Let's get into the details of what we expect over the next several days. Start out by looking at the lower 48 and a loop of the IR satellite. IR is infrared, and it's a way of seeing clouds at night. And you can see a blow up of thunderstorms over central Missouri with a weak little wave there. You see the fast-moving clouds right here. This is this upcoming jet stream disturbance that's going to be affecting the severe weather in this area today. A little too far southwest on that draw there, but that's what we're going to be focusing on. If you look at the 500 millibar flow, again, you see a little wrinkle in the flow. There's also a surface front in here that's helping to generate some lift, basically some convergence and getting some thunderstorms to form there. But this is the feature I'm talking about right here, and this has been talked about for almost a week now. And that's what's going to be moving into the plains, increasing the upper level wind fields, causing low pressure to develop at the surface and drawing up the all-important moisture from the Gulf into the target zone. And that's going to be a point that we'll focus on just a little bit more here in just a second. Let's take a look at overall what the severe weather outlook is for the U.S. here. And we have 3 areas of basically slight or level 2. One centered right around the nation's capital, parts of Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, even into New Jersey and Delaware. And then another little one around the Ohio River there, around Cincinnati, Louisville, maybe up into parts of West Virginia. And then the main focus is this area here, and that's been the case for a couple of days now. This is the latest information from the SPC. We'll zoom in on that. This is a level 3 out of 5, so an enhanced risk is what they call this. And it's the chance, basically the percent chance within 25 miles of severe weather. So we're looking at pretty good chances here. And from Oklahoma City almost to the Texas border, getting as far north as Wichita and as far south. Wichita Falls is right in here somewhere. It's not plotted. Those are the major cities. And what's expected here is a linear system eventually. I'll show you the radar output. There is a tornado chance with this, a 5% chance right here, which is the brown area. That definitely does include Wichita, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, places like Enid, Elk City, which is where I think I'm going to set up shop here at 2 o'clock this morning as I storm chase, or 2 o'clock this afternoon as I storm chase. And it goes right down to the heart of Texas as well. We do see also a severe hail outlook, 30% probability. So severe hail is 1 inch hail or larger. So that's a fairly good chance right down the corridor here from south central Kansas right into around the Wichita Falls area and all points in between and nearby. And severe wind is another threat here with this squall line, so 30% chance of a wind that reaches severe levels in this area as well. Pretty much a carbon copy of the hail forecast and of the enhanced risk. The tornado is a little bit bigger than that. So let's take a look at Nadocast. So it does paint a 10% probability from just south of Wichita, straight southwest to around Lawton, Oklahoma. That area, Oklahoma City is definitely close, if not in that area. And again, I'll be watching that very carefully. So for a storm chaser, we want isolated cells. Lines are not as good. To the public, that doesn't matter. So there's still a pretty good tornado probability with this, especially as we get into the overnight hours. I'll again detail that in a minute. I did want to show you the Colorado State University learning model. It does put a tornado probability maximum in that exact same area as Nadocast does. Again, I think a lot of that will be once the squall line develops, but if discreteness, especially early on, will be the key to, let's say, spotting a tornado. The hail and the wind risk almost perfectly duplicate what the SPC has put out. So here's the HRRR simulated radar. This is good at 4 o'clock today. These cells will likely not be severe, just not enough moisture or oomph for them to develop. And also, if you look here, we have a lot of what looks to be rain or showers here. And if those don't materialize, then it does look likely that clouds will be a part of this. So that's going to be a big part of my chase today, is trying to figure out right around here where we can get a combination of sunnier weather, basically, to make the air more unstable, where the boundaries will set up, basically, and getting there in time before it becomes one big line and not as chaseable, and also dark is what I'm fighting against too. So just 2 hours later, we have a very definite squall line developing. You can see some mid-level helicity in some of those cells, so some implied supercells like that one right there. Of course, this radar comes and goes. I'll check it next hour, there'll be one here and not there. So, but the overall trend is there. And my thinking is to try to improve the shear vector across the dry line. That might be an argument for this cluster of storms here, but then again, a lot of things are pointing to a boundary, a retreating boundary north to this area here. That's why I'm going to go here and just make a decision at 2. And then you can see this does become a line, but you'll notice that there does appear to be some breaks in the line, and maybe that might be a single supercell there. And it's strongly implied that that is forming along some sort of boundary right there. So we'll take a look at that. Now, if I look at the morning mesonet from Oklahoma, by the way, this is great. Every state should have one of these. You can see a very sharp dew point gradient right here, east-west across southwest Oklahoma. I'll be checking that often today to see where this thing ends up. But we are getting low 60-degree dew points being moved up here. There is southerly flow, but it's not abnormally strong. I mean, it's not real healthy, in other words. So it's going to be an interesting chase day. I'm doing it more for testing out stuff and seeing what happens. I got another one on Friday that I'm preparing for. So let's get into that. Let's look at tomorrow's forecast, Thursday. I'm not able to chase on this day, but centered right on Chicago, level 2 out of 5. Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, parts of eastern Ohio, eastern Iowa, and western Ohio are in that. And so if we look at the tornado risk, that's a blanket. And what I thought would happen they backed up the severe risk and the tornado risk to include more of this area here. And I think that's going to be significant. We're going to see what happens with those storms. Now, that's my thinking. And now some of the other models don't agree. Like, for instance, CSU has the tornado risk not quite that far to the west, but does include northern Illinois, Wisconsin, and Bullseye right over there over southern peninsula of Michigan. With an attendant hail and wind risk in about that same area. Then we move ahead, and this is Friday now. Friday has moved into the 3-day Storm Prediction Center outlook, which means you get more detail. And this is already an enhanced view here in Iowa and northern Missouri, so that's why I'm going out again on Friday. And a pretty large area of slight risk, that's the yellow here, that extends all the way down to Oklahoma City. And I already posted on Facebook for folks living in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, that this is probably later on Friday evening the greatest threat of severe weather for us. Again, will be late to the game. These are storms that are rolling later on in the evening, which is often the case. So just keep that in mind. If we look at CSU's idea here, they put the tornado maximum in Iowa. It looks like I'm heading to northern Missouri or Iowa on Friday, as best I can tell. Large hail threat is right attendant with that, and a wind threat is more widespread and a little less focused. And then this whole thing shifts to the northeast on Saturday, focusing New York, Pennsylvania, basically the eastern Great Lakes states into southern Ontario as well. 3, 2, 1. So to sum all that up, the supercell composite percentage chances here for the next 7 days definitely include this area here. And that's because of 2 outbreaks. It does not really get too excited about something up here. That's interesting. And then the week after that, we're moving down from Kansas, especially down into the heart of Texas. And then things seem to settle down in week 3. That's April 15th through the 21st. Thanks for watching today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. This is published every day after the morning Storm Prediction Center update. Also, remember to check that site off on day 1 because they update it fairly frequently. If you like this video, please like it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.